Hello and welcome to another episode of the Super Soul Model Series, and I'm your host, James Granström. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today's episode and topic is all about foods that heal you during the hot summer months. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nutritionist, and I'm also not a personal trainer. However, for the last 16, 17 years, I've been in absolutely phenomenal health and great shape, and I'm wondering, what is it that I've been doing? And my mother told me basically this week, she goes, you need to talk about food because you've been teaching us so much about food. And so I thought, do you know what? I'm going to step outside my comfort zone this week and start talking about foods that heal. These are foods that I use particularly during the summer months. Obviously, I have a vast array of palate. I'm a vegetarian, pretty much vegan, but I use these foods that I'm going to talk about today as a way to heal, as a way to soothe, as a way to get the best out of my body so that I can use the energy more effectively when it's hot. And I want to share these with you today and just take away from this episode maybe some ideas that you can put into use, something that you can potentially be practical. You never know what you're going to find until obviously you experiment. I'm my own guinea pig. And I think one of the reasons why I thought I would do this show is because, I'd really thought about, what's working in terms of my physicality that's working really well. I've got amazing eyesight. I don't wear glasses. I've got great hearing. For the best part of me that I know of, my kidneys, heart and liver are in great shape. I don't drink alcohol. So I'm not putting too much pressure on my liver. Kidneys is basically where you store a lot of your vital energy, and I've got a lot of energy throughout the day, so I know my kidneys are in check. I just wanted to go through hair. My hair's in good nick. I've got a healthy gut for the most part. I'm constantly looking to detoxify and cleanse my gut the whole time, and I'm going to talk about some foods that are good for the gut in this episode. I'm blessed to have pretty decent teeth, and I've got good memory, and muscles are good. Now, I'm not meaning this to sound conceited or show off or anything like that, but I just realised that health has got a few common denominators. You've got to take care of your body, you've got to take care of your mind, and in doing so, when you start to take care and you start to have a lot more enjoyment and you have this wonderful balance, you're also tapping into that level of your soul. And when your mind, body and soul in harmony, you have a happy, healthy and great life. Now, that is a balancing act. And one of the ways we balance that is through our nutrition. And that is why I'm talking about today's episode, foods that heal, particularly for the summer months. So let's start away. So foods that I find very effective, particularly during the summer months, for me, are just getting a load of antioxidants. Now, I do this obviously throughout the year, but it's good to get clued up so you know what to reach for. Our body is very intuitive. It sends us signals, and the clearer we're able to understand what the signals it is and give ourselves the right food and the right nutrition, our body responds in kind. And then that responds in kind with greater vitality, greater energy, and of course, greater mental clarity. So the first thing I'm going to start with is the antioxidants. What is an antioxidant? An antioxidant is something that helps your cell tissues fight free radicals. Now, free radicals are constantly in the body through stress, through all sorts of things. Obviously, toxicity that you breathe in through the air, water on your skin, and so forth. And certain foods that aren't high in natural enzymes and nutrients. So your body is a constant balancing act, and the more you begin to incorporate levels of antioxidants in the body, your body is then able to fight these free radicals, which are effectively like rust inside of your body. And the reason why I'm just going to give it this analogy is because, like on a car, when it gets oxidized, you get the iron oxide, and that iron oxide becomes rust. Now, so if you can think of your body as water, as H2O for the most part, the more oxygen it has, the more these free radicals will reign. Now, oxygen is very healing, but oxidants are different. So in order to get the best antioxidant, I look to incorporate into my diet every day things like blueberries, raspberries, goji berries. Blueberries have high antioxidant properties, so these are great. And and they're high in vitamin C. They fight off these free radicals. And I love to make sure that I have blueberries every day, raspberries. I mix it up, but blueberries, I'm often, when I go to the supermarket during the summer months, I always have blueberries and raspberries knocking around. So what are some other types of antioxidants that could be super helpful for you to help soothing during the summer months? I like to incorporate things like spinach, which is, funnily enough, high in vitamin C, but it's also high in iron. And the more iron that we have, the more energy that we have. If you ever find your skin going a little pale and you're lacking energy, that's obviously a little bit of iron deficiency. So you can ramp that up and find some balance by incorporating a lot more spinach into your diet. And on top of spinach, I like to also use spirulina. Now, spirulina is an algae, and it's got some incredible antioxidant power in it. And it tastes horrible. I'm going to be straight honest. It tastes horrible. But I mix it in my smoothie in the morning. And having that is not only a blood cleanser, it's great for your eyes. It's got a natural protein. It helps pH level your blood and your body, because when we get too acidic, we don't perform as well. If we get too alkali, you're not in balance. So you want to be hitting around your pH levels of around 7 to 8. Now, certain foods are much more acidic than others. That's understandable. But, like I said, life and nutrition is all about having a level of balance. And food is supposed to be enjoyed. But when you start to put the right food inside of your body, you're going to really reap the benefits of having higher levels of energy. And when you operate at higher levels of energy, you just feel great. And I would say probably most days I feel pretty good. I feel pretty blessed, but I know that that's also what I've been incorporating into my diet. So I talked about the berries, I've talked about spirulina, I've talked about spinach. Now, another potent antioxidant that I like to incorporate is actually, funnily enough, a supplement. And this supplement is called Mega Hydrate. Mega Hydrate was designed by Dr. Patrick Flanagan. Now, it's based upon the water that you find in high glacial areas like the Hunza Valley in Pakistan, Baden-Baden in Germany, Vilcabamba in Ecuador. In these areas, he discovered that people were mainly centurions. There were loads of people way into their hundreds with a sense of vitality. And his mentor showed him the beginning of his work, and he asked Dr. Patrick Flanagan to finish it off. And so that he found that why was it that these people were living such long lives, and they were drinking this particular type of water, this glacial melt water, which was high in hydrogen. And so anyway, what they found was it had like a little milky substance. It looked milkier rather than the fresh water. When he was able to study the water and study the structures of the water, he realized that the water had negative hydrogen ions. And so when you take it into your body, what happened is that your body would naturally hydrate every cell of the body. It wouldn't just be partial, it would be like complete hydration. And so he managed to go into the laboratory. And this is a guy who was on Time magazine at the age of 17. So, I mean, this guy's a proper genius. But anyway, this particular supplement is phenomenal. It's FDA approved. I don't really have a lot of supplements, to be fair, but this I really love, because I noticed that when I perform in sports, I go for a run, I play football, I play tennis, and I have a couple of these little small portions of the Mega Hydrate that I add to the water. What it does, it structures the water and recharges it, and it allows the hydrogen that turns into the body, molecular hydrogen, to really amplify the hydration in your body, and it's high in antioxidants. So I love Mega Hydrate. But go check it out online, study it for yourself. I studied this for so long before I bought it, and when I bought it, I was like, wow, I should tell the whole world. But everything that I do and everything that I share is really because I've guinea pigged myself. So I really rate it. And I noticed that my energy levels were like 33% higher at least when I was doing sports, and my recovery was so much better, and I didn't need to drink so much water or flood my system when it's super hot outside. I felt that my mouth had a constant level of saliva, which meant stress levels were really, really down, and enough saliva means that you're hydrated. So foods that heal during the summer are foods that are light, foods that are hydrating. Obviously during the winter we want stodgier, heavier food so we can heat up the body, but in the summer, because the external air temperature is a lot hotter and the sun's exposed on our skin for a lot longer, it's not as if we have to heat up our body so much, but so we want to do the exact opposite, which is find cooling, so we can find that perfect level of balance that I've been talking about. Life is always a balancing act. And one of the things that I found is that watermelon and melon juice such as cantaloupe and honeydew, but particularly watermelon, is very, very healing and very, very soothing. So most days I have myself a watermelon smoothie, and it's just cut up watermelon with fresh water. And it's amazing how hydrating that is. And the melon juice in itself cleans the kidneys, it cleans the liver, it's very soothing in your gut, it cleans the gut, and it also helps your mood, it helps improve your mood. If you ever feel frustrated because it's too hot or you've got a bit of angst, going for a melon juice smoothie is absolutely amazing. It sets you right back into your zone. So there's a couple of things that I add in my melon juice smoothie, like turmeric and a banana on occasion, just to mix it up and mix up the flavors. But melon juice in itself, just mixed with fresh water, is a simple, effective way to soothe your digestion. And when you have a happy digestion, you're going to have a happy head as well. And so there's a real gut-mind signal going on the whole time. So the happier and healthier your gut, the more clarity that you have in your mind. I'm going to move on to the next food that I use and incorporate in the summer months, which is turmeric. Now, turmeric is a root, and its main property is curcumin. And curcumin is essentially an anti-inflammatory. So, you can find your body, like most causes of disease comes from inflammation, and and foods that heal are anti-inflammatories essentially. And turmeric also is an antioxidant as well. So that means it corners and helps starve off heart disease, brain disease, and it can help potentially ward off Alzheimer's in certain medical studies. And one of the reasons why I started getting into turmeric was because obviously I played a lot of sport, and I was studying Andy Murray that he'd started incorporating turmeric into his diet for muscle recovery. And when you're a high level sportsman, your recovery is as important as your training. And I like to see life a bit like that. So the better your training and the better your recovery, the more efficient you're going to become using your body more efficiently. So I realized that turmeric is a great anti-inflammatory, great recovery, and I use it for after I play sports, and I use it before I play sports, but mainly I just chuck it in a smoothie. I get a nice piece of turmeric. By the way, it stains your fingers, and I peel it with a peeler, and then just chuck it in the blender. Some people use the turmeric powders or get turmeric supplements. I just like the fresh. For me, fresh is best. So I just chuck it in the blender with my smoothie. I mentioned it a little bit before. Watermelon, fresh water, turmeric, and a banana. Bang! That does it for me. It's more of a root, so you've got to think of it like in the same kind of family as ginger. And it's got a very unusual taste if you haven't tasted it before. But one thing, a little side note here, I love learning about natural things and natural remedies to help you. And I was looking online of ways in which you can clean your teeth and whiten your teeth naturally. And I came across this video, and this video mentioned that you could create your own tooth whitening paste with fresh raw coconut oil, a couple of drops of essential oil peppermint, and turmeric. And I use it once in a while to brush my teeth. It's a little paste that you make up at home. The peppermint oil naturally obviously freshens your mouth, but for some reason these active ingredients with the turmeric and the coconut oil is not only good for your gums, but it definitely whitens your teeth. So I've never actually had my teeth whitened properly by the dentist or anything. I've just been doing it naturally, and I think it works pretty well, to be honest. So highly recommend that. Go check some stuff out like that, and educate yourself on just natural ways in which you can, benefit from turmeric. Turmeric has got some great things to it. So anyway, I love turmeric, and I love incorporating it into my diet. Now, another food that heals during the summer months are avocados. Avocados are a high source of potassium, even more so than bananas. And obviously, during the summer months, you want healthy fats. And boy, my golly, is avocado a healthy fat. It's a healthy fat high in potassium. It helps reduce heart risk. It's fibrous. It lowers your cholesterol. It's great for your blood. It's great for your eyes. Um, and it controls your blood pressure. And it also wards off and fights off disease. So, an avocado is definitely a food that I use to help incorporate and heal my body during these summer months. I'm all for having lots of salads and things like that in the summer months, like right now. But I love to make sure I get in a bit of avocado every day. Everything that I'm talking about, I sort of incorporate into my body pretty much every day right now during these hot months and hot days. Swiftly moving on, I'm going to go back to another fruit, banana. I've talked about it. Banana, again, potassium. Why is potassium so good for us? It helps repair the muscles. Not only helps repair the muscles like you find them in avocados, but bananas are also high in vitamin C. They're great for your skin. They have heart health. They're great for your digestion. They're like rocket fuel for your body, so they energize you. And they're antifungal and antibacterial too. So, I mean, it's just a full-on immune booster. So, bananas are light, they're high in water content. So all these foods that I'm talking about are really high in water content. Mostly, they have lots of sunlight charged through them. So when you're eating charged food full of nutrients and enzymes, those foods become you. You transfer that energy, and that energy that you're eating is transferred into your body, and your body is able to break down sunlight foods very easily, very quickly, more so than maybe trying to break down a steak or something like that. So, all these foods that heal are very easy for your digestion, and you want your digestion to be light during the summer months so you have more energy. Because in the winter, our body runs on a little different cycle. So we're wanting to fill ourselves up, so we heat up the body. And in the summer, we want to have light digestion. We want to feel lighter as such, because when you feel heavy in the summer, you feel incredibly sluggish. One of my other go-to foods during the summer is lemons. I love lemons. Lemons is probably one of my all-time favorite foods or fruits that I love. Lemon juice. I'm going to go straight to it. Lemon water. Lemon juice in your water structures your water. Medical Medium talks about this, and I've been doing this for about nearly 17, 18 years now, having lemon juice first thing in the morning. And I know what this does for me is it helps clean my gut, helps clean my intestinal tract. It's a natural detoxifier. It's an immune booster. It adds vitamin C. It cleanses your blood. Adding lemons, I use it on top of my salads instead of oils and so forth, because I know how powerful lemons are. Lemons are naturally considered to be acidic, but for some reason, the lemon juice water balances your pH level. I mean, how does that work? I don't know, but that's basically what the scientific studies show. And I know that for me, a lemon a day keeps my body healthy and the doctor away. And I'm all for doctors and looking for help, but I like prevention rather than cure. So all of these things help you prevent things rather than be the cure. And the more you're adding good things into your body regularly into your diet, the better you're going to feel, and the better you feel, the better life gets really. And health really is your wealth, because if you ain't healthy, you can't just chuck a load of money at it to make it better. You've got to educate yourself, and that's the purpose of these, to positively uplift you so you can be educated and maybe try and incorporate some of these things and be your own guinea pig. All of these are just ideas. Like I said, I'm not a nutritionist and I'm not a doctor, but I do know that these things have really, really worked for me, and I've been blessed to be so healthy and well and continue to do so because I just keep loving to learn, number one, loving to incorporate new foods and nutritions that I know have positive benefits for my body and that taste good as well. So, I mean, it's an absolute win-win-win all round. So, I meant to say one other thing that's particularly great for lemons. Lemons help kill off parasites inside of your body. Parasites basically stick to the gut. And when you're having lemon juice in your water, like my go-to drink when I go to a restaurant is lemon water. It's very simple. Can I have some water with a bit of lemon? Bang, every single time. One, because it makes the water taste a little better, and two, because I know of the positive, powerful benefits that it adds to the water. It structures your water, and it makes it come alive. So I mean, that's absolutely brilliant. And also, aside from being a massive immune booster, it helps control your blood pressure. So say goodbye to high blood pressure when you begin to incorporate these little steps into your life in terms of nutrition. I've got two more on the list actually. And my penultimate food that heal during the summer is cucumbers. Cucumbers are extremely cooling, cool as a cucumber. They soothe your skin naturally. They cool your mood. Cucumber, again, great for your digestion. Great for your digestion. High water content, so it fills you up on your salads and when you're eating. But having a cucumber in your diet is also, funnily enough, it helps to prevent blood clotting. So very good for cleaning your blood. Very good for the movement of enzymes throughout your body. So, and also if you have type 2 diabetes, it's a great healer for diabetes. Good food really can be one of the best way you can reverse any symptoms or ailments that you have. And I love having cucumbers, particularly this time of year. So huge fan of cucumbers. And my last but not least is beans. All sorts of beans. Beans are absolutely brilliant for you. Beans are very energizing. If your kidneys are at the back towards the lower part of, like, near your coccyx, either side of the lower base of your spine, that's where your kidneys reside. And your kidneys require lots of energy. That's where all your energy comes. So if you have happy kidneys and your kidneys are in good check and good health, you're going to have enough energy. And beans particularly very much help aid bringing more energy to the kidneys. And so it's no coincidence that Mother Nature makes kidney beans, and funnily enough, they're good for your kidneys. It's funny. And like walnuts are good for your brain. They look like brain food. But beans are particularly fibrous, so they help clean the gut, they help move the digestion. Um, they're healthy proteins. The light that the sun produces, that the bean absorbs through photosynthesis, stores so much energy in those beans. That's why beans are fantastic. And really, what we're wanting to do is have that transfer of sunlight energy through the foods that we ingest into our body, and then that energy becomes our part of our body matrix. And our body is able to break down these lighter foods, particularly during the summer months, in such incredible ways. And like I said, the lighter your digestion, particularly in the summer, the more energy you'll have and the more in balance you'll be. And despite some of the hot weather that you might have, you're going to find that you're going to have clarity, vitality, and energy, which is the prize itself. And beans are also very high in iron and magnesium, and they're great for your heart health. And a happy heart and a healthy heart is the center part of your body. And when all of these are in check, you're going to have great energy. So beans are absolutely brilliant. Get more beans into your diet, particularly during the summer months. Chuck them on top of your salad. The reason why we love salads in the summer months is because they're high in water content. And high water content foods really fills us up. And usually if you go for stodgy foods, it makes you feel really heavy and sluggish and you need to nap after lunch. When you're napping after lunch, what that means is your digestion is working super overtime. And when you're eating very light lunches or salads with high water content, you're not necessarily going to have to nap because your digestive system isn't working overtime to break that down. So again, the easier foods that you can present your body with in forms of delicious nutrition, the easier it is for your digestive system to work. And when your digestive system is working easily and effortlessly and not having to break down stuff so heavily, it's not expending as much energy, which means you've got more brain energy and more area for clarity in your mind, which is what I found by having a lot much more hydrating foods and high water content foods. These are foods that I absolutely love and really work for me. I'm going to just repeat them one more time and go through the list. The first one is making sure you get plenty of antioxidants. So berries, blueberries, raspberries, get them into your diet. Spirulina, spinach, absolutely marvelous. I talked about the supplement that I use, which is called Mega Hydrate. And Mega Hydrate is like molecular hydrogen, which again fills up the water content in your body. And the more water that you have in your body in terms of balance, the more easier it is for you to have a greater sense of vitality, energy, and clarity. And that's super important because in the summer months, we can feel super lightheaded. And particularly if you're doing exercise outside in the summer months, it can be a bit dangerous and you can faint. So that's why making sure that you're properly hydrated is key. Melons, watermelons, honeydew melons, cantaloupe melons. I love melons. Melons are absolutely brilliant. Try if you love to eat watermelon, that's absolutely great. But I love the watermelon smoothies, and like I said, I've been making watermelon, banana, and turmeric blend, and it is brilliant. And I know that this is an anti-inflammatory. It helps clean my kidneys and my liver. And the turmeric is the anti-inflammatory, and the bananas are high in potassium. They're like energizing and they're immune boosting. So it's absolutely delicious drink, delicious smoothie, and you can incorporate that easily. And again, it will cool your mood as well. I talked briefly about the turmeric there, and avocados, bananas, lemons, particularly lemon juice, cucumber, and of course, finally, on beans. Now, you can have all sorts of things that foods that heal, natural foods, but these are the ones that I find have given me such vitality. I hope there's something that's inspired you here in this episode so that you can take away with it, apply it in your life, and have your own experience, because vitality, energy, and clarity has to be your own experience, and you've got to see what works for you. But these are the things and foods that have helped heal me during these summer months so that I operate at my very best and at my highest level. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, please write in to me at James Granström on Instagram. Anyway, as always, I wish you green lights all the way, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.